Hey, greetings, my friends out there in Atlanta. James Jordan here with you today with Mr. X, aka Brian Spector. We're gonna be going over Instagram, right? We're gonna be talking about how you can go out and start getting results on Instagram, how you can start getting targeted traffic, targeted leads, and not just leads, but actual sales. Clients that are serious and motivated and hungry to buy from you, to be quite honest with you. So we're going to be breaking down some stuff. Brian's going to be sharing some concepts with you. I'm going to be sharing some concepts with you. So you definitely want to pay close attention. You want to take copious notes if you're getting access to this training, if you're live, because this is going to be powerful, and this is something that, we're going to stash away. So you definitely want to pay attention and get rid of any and all distractions because we just decided that we're really going to share with you the way that we think, why we think that way, and what has transpired from our thought patterns, and what has led to certain actions that we've taken when it comes to Instagram, and why we go out and produce results. So with that being said, bro, I just want to bring you into the fold and just have you go at it, bro.
All right. I think I want to start off talking about the mindset because one thing I realized, especially with Instagram, is that if you're coming in with the attitude of just like wanting to make money and really like, because I don't want to get like technical or anything because I've been there before and it doesn't make money. It actually pulls you further away from it. Um, what I've noticed is once you can step into the shoes of the customer and really understand where they're coming from, and then be able to set yourself up as the solution to their problems, you'll be able to get people to opt in, become a lead, even become a sale, because what you're doing is you're giving people something that they want or something that they need. And a lot of times, especially if you're a network marketer and you're using Instagram, I see there's like this resistance of trying to convince people or trying to push them into something that maybe is against their will or that they're not really that interested in. And what I found to work with Instagram is positioning myself as the person who is giving the customer or the prospect what they're looking for. It's the same thing with Google. It's like if you go on Google and you're looking for something, and then you come across a blog, what's going to happen is you're going to read information that reinforces whatever it is that you're looking for, and then it comes down to you making a decision to buy. And so if you want to make money on Instagram, I like to look at it like a search engine, like setting yourself up as the provider of the solution. There's going to be people who are looking for whatever it is that you're offering, whatever product or service that you're selling, and as long as you're relevant to what they're looking for, you should have no problem making money. Like James and I were talking about this earlier, is that like whenever there's resistance, whenever it feels like you're going against the current, then there's usually something wrong with your thought process. And that happened to me for a really long time when I was marketing on Instagram, probably for like 6 or 7 months. I wasn't getting any sales. I wasn't getting any leads. It seemed like a constant struggle and grind until I realized, I'm doing something wrong. I need to do something differently because if I keep doing the same thing over again, like I'm gonna get the same results. So I really just kind of took a step back to analyze what was going on and to step into the shoes of my prospect so that I can understand where they're coming from. And basically, when I'm setting up my profile, everything from the profile picture to the content, even the description, is centered around serving people's needs and becoming the solution. So, with that being said, I'm going to pass it back to you so you can give a little more detail on the processes that we're using with Instagram.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate it. So, what I'm gonna do is, can you see my screen?
No, I just see a picture of you.
You can't. Hold on. Let me. Uh, full screen. Start screen share. Okay, so you can see my screen. So you can see this whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to start doodling. It's a fun thing I like to do every now and then. Haven't done a live training yet. But I'm just going to talk about the mindset, right? Because the mindset when you go onto Instagram, I personally feel is important, right? Because if you go on there, like I'm gonna use an extreme example so that you know exactly what not to do. And by me using this extreme example, you'll realize what subtleties you may end up be doing already, or what you may be thinking about doing, that won't work for you, right? So I log into one of my Instagram accounts today, and this guy is marketing with pictures full of money, right? Full of money. And I'm like, okay, that's nothing new, right? But then he also, he had some guns, right? Like he had a gun, right? He had guns on his profile, right? Then he had like cups of syrup, which is like codeine
Drink.
in like soda, right? I mean Brian knows because he's out in Houston, so I don't know too much about it. We don't like I don't really know anybody that does codeine in soda out here in Connecticut, but I know it's pretty popular out there. I'm not saying you do it, bro, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got codeine, we got guns, we got a whole bunch of money, right? And then also, he has like bags of weed on his profile, right? Now, you may be saying, well, James, that's pretty extreme, right? But think about it. He's also talking about, get money, right? He's talking about, oh, get money with this business, right? Get money, do this is the lifestyle, blah, 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 blah. You're doing the same thing. You may not be as extreme, okay? You may be doing this on Facebook. You may be doing this on YouTube. You may be doing it on your blog if you have your own blog. Now, you may not be as extreme as this guy right here, right? Because this is a big-ass no-no, right? But you're probably doing the same thing in your business if you're not attracting the right type of people that plug in and take action even before you talk to them, right? Because when you do this right, what happens is people will literally pull out their credit card, right? We'll just put a little Visa logo right here. Pull out their credit card and buy on autopilot, okay? They buy on autopilot, right? Now, this is coming from someone who I used to hate Instagram, right? Because I just thought it was a dumb site. I just thought, it's just, people posting pictures, right? I was like, they don't have anything else to do with themselves but take pictures of themselves, and so they want to make themselves feel better, right? By taking photos all the time. So I was like totally against Instagram, right? And I was the same way with Facebook. I used to absolutely hate Facebook. I couldn't stand it, right? I didn't understand it. I hated Facebook because when it first came out, you had to be in a big college to become a member, right? And I was going to a community college at the time. And I remember I typed in my community college and it didn't pop up, so I couldn't become a member. I was so pissed, right? So then eventually, when everyone could become a member of Facebook, I hated it, right? I became a member of Facebook, but I couldn't stand it. And then it finally dawned on me that the people that I needed to talk to, my target audience, were on Facebook. And once I understood the lingo, I understood their problems, their frustrations, their pains, what they were looking for in their life, what they were looking for in their business. Once I got into the mind of my perfect avatar, right? My perfect client, right? Because I focus on creating clients. I don't focus on creating customers, right? For those of you that are watching this live, for those of you that get access to this training as a recording, you want to look up the difference between customer and client in the dictionary. Because when you do that, you will understand how important it is to focus on having clients, right? Because the more clients you have, the easier and more effortless your business really becomes, right? So while you may not be posting guns, codeine, and weed, and a whole bunch of, and you're not flashing a whole bunch of money on your profile, if you're just talking about, make money in this deal, join my business, you'll make money, we have guaranteed pay levels and all this other horse shit, you're gonna attract a certain type of individual, right? And that individual isn't going to be someone that stays in the game long enough to do enough to create a big result. They'll probably jump from company to company, deal to deal, product to product, affiliate program to affiliate program, and you'll be basically churning and burning, churning and burning, churning and burning all the time, and you'll get burnt out because for every 5 people that you plug in, you have 5 people going out the door, and you can't figure out why the hell that's going on, right? I've been there. It's frustrating. It's annoying. And I'd much rather do it this way, where I have someone pull out their Visa card, their Discover card, right? And what else? In their MasterCard, right? And buy on autopilot before I even talk to them. And then, even if I get on the phone with these people, yes, I still do use the phone, right? This is a retarded phone, but this is an old school phone, right? I still use the phone, right? Let's make it the old school cell phone, right? I still use the phone to this day. Right? So I still use the phone in my business, right? But I talk to customers, right? I talk to customers. Why? Because when you're talking to customers, right, you can turn them into clients, right? Got that? So, I want to break this down some more. But before I do, I wanna hop over to Brian. If you got anything else to say, before I really go into, my mindset and what I do as far as Instagram. If you have anything you want to touch on before
Yeah,
I whip out
um,
this thing again.
you actually brought out a bunch of good points, and I want to stress the importance. Like, you can advertise codeine and guns and and weed and stuff like that if those are the people that you're advertising to. But if you want to make big money and you want to make like effortless money, and I'm not saying that everything that we do here is effortless. It does take work and dedication, and results will vary. But when if you want to create a result without that much resistance, and you want to get people to buy something that they're actually looking for, go with what James is about to teach you right now, because I think both of us have been through the struggle and the grind enough to understand that we don't want to be there anymore. Like, I would much rather, make money selling something, it through like I would much rather sell using methods that I know work than trying to figure things out for myself, if that makes sense. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to pass it back to you and just keep going on with what you were saying. I'm actually learning a lot listening to you.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let me go back to screen share. Okay, so just to pre-frame this a little bit, what I'm about to teach you is proven, right? It's proven, and not just by my personal results, not just by Brian's personal results, but I had this kid by the name of Ken, right? Um, who's 19 years old, right? 19 years old, who was struggling in his business for 5 months, right? Only sponsoring one person, only had one rep in his business in that entire 5 months. Plug in and use what it is that I'm about to teach you, right? This is the key right here. Used, because here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to get off this training and go watch TV or go eat a bag of potato chips or drink a whole can of soda or a whole 2-liter bottle of soda and then fall asleep, right? Like, I actually want you to use this because implementation is the key to success. Application is the key to success. When I learn something new, the way I go out and get results is I simply do what I'm told to do. And you're talking to someone who struggled for 5+ years, right, with inconsistent results. I go sponsor people, then not sponsor people, then drop people, then have people come in, churn and burn. Like, I've been all over the place, right? And why is that? Because I wasn't consistent in doing the things that work in my business. And then I eventually got to a place where I was just tired of screwing up. I was tired of being frustrated. I was tired of not getting consistent results. I was tired of not finding quality people like Ken, who was coachable and willing to do what it is that I told them to do so that they could go out and get the result, right? And once I created this case study, I totally stopped buying everyone's BS, including my own, right? Because everyone has their own bullshit story that they're telling themselves as to why they can't do this, why they don't have the money, why they can't get started today, why they can't buy your product from you without trying to talk to you for an hour over the phone, or to ask you a bunch of questions via email, right? People have their own bullshit in their head, and I love the fact that I can just show people that, listen, I don't care where you come from, I don't care how old you are. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care about your background. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is that wherever you are coming from, as long as you are a blank slate, meaning that you are willing to do what it is that I tell you to do, you're going to get results. The only thing is, how long is it going to take you to get those results is ultimately determined by how fast you take action, right? Because when you use the principles and the concepts that we're about to share with you on this training, you're going to get results. And it will be effortless. Does it require some work? Yes. But it's effortless when you know it works, number one. And number two, right, when you're doing the right thing. It becomes effortless, right? So what did I share with Ken that allowed him to just go out and, go from 5 months of struggle, right, sponsoring one rep, to being able to bring in anywhere from 1 to 3 customers, right? It might be 2 customers, so I'll just say 2 because I don't remember now, because I'm having people use this strategy and make money. When you start forgetting how many people are bringing in, it's a great thing, right? So 2 customers a day, right? And turning them into clients, right? Turning them into clients. I'm not going to write everything out. That takes too long. So, what did I share? Well, first off, I said we identified who our target audience was, right? Who our target audience were. That's number one. And you have to do that, right? If you're on this, go look up customer avatar, right? We're gonna talk about it a little bit, but we're not gonna break down the whole entire science behind it, because that's a whole entire training in itself, right? So you want to know who your customer avatar is, who they are, how old they are, like get as specific as you possibly can. What do they do for a living right now? How does their day look like? Do they have a family? Do they, are they married? Are they divorced? Right? Well, what type? You could even get nitty gritty down to the religion, down to the car that they drive, down to the shirt and pants and shoes that they wear. Like, you could get really ninja with this stuff, because once you know and understand who your target audience is, it becomes easy to communicate, because what you're looking to do is you're looking to communicate with the person who's going to buy from you, right? So once I established that with Ken, right, about how he could target the right type of person who is looking for what it is that we have to offer, right? All he did was he got in front of those people. That's it. He just got in front of those people. He found those people on Instagram, right? And obviously, because their problem was such a big problem, right? Like, it's in the forefront of their mind every day, right? Because they're, people who are struggling in their business, right? Right? They're struggling in their business and they don't know how to go out and get leads, right? Get leads, get traffic, and create sales in their business, right? And when you have something that can help them go out and get traffic, get leads, and get sales, and you're not some hypey bullshit artist like the people who, flash codeine, guns, and weed, right?
Oh man, that's funny.
When you're not that individual and you're genuine and you have something that can help them, it becomes effortless and people just buy. And you see, here's the thing that I even had to go through this myself. I thought Instagram just had people that would purchase, $7 products, $25 products, maybe even $100 product, right? Maybe even $100 product. Now, what blew my mind is that Ken had someone come through his funnel, right? Come through one of his marketing funnels, right? You gotta have a marketing funnel. It's a whole nother training in itself, guys. But I want to give you the big overview, right? So Ken had someone go through this is just one person, okay? One person. Go through his funnel, and within 19 hours, right? Now, Ken did not get on the phone with this individual. I think he might have talked to him via email, maybe. But in 19 hours, this individual had spent $1,700 in products and information and training. And look, products, I can't even spell right now. Products, training, and information. And that was a huge wake-up call for me. Because I was like, wait a minute. There's real money on Instagram. Right? Like, that was my face when I saw that happen. Right? When you get email notifications of, $1,700 in sales coming through, when you haven't talked to an individual yet, and then you talk to, one of your team members and you realize that they didn't talk to the individual yet, you're like, oh shit, this works, right? So now here's the thing, right? Now I had someone come through my funnel, right? One person, okay? One person come through my funnel yesterday, right? And this is why I still use the phone, right? Now, I just texted that individual just to say, hey, I'm a real person, just wanted to let you know, get through your training, right? So I gave her some action steps, right? She did exactly what I told her to do, okay? Then because she did that, I got on the phone with her and I talked to her for maybe about 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? Maybe. And that individual is spending $1,700 on products, training, and information. Now, I don't know about you, right? And I don't know how you feel about getting on the phone and connecting with people, especially if they've already pulled out their credit card and bought from you. But, I'd say anywhere from 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3, 20 to 30 minute conversations a day if it was going to net me $500 plus dollars, right? Per conversation. PC. I like that. PC. Per conversation, right? So, I just want you to know and understand that this works. This works. And Brian's going to share with you some really ninja stuff about what works for him, right? But I want you to know and understand that there's an abundance, okay? There's an abundance of traffic, there's an abundance of leads, and there's an abundance of sales, and not just low-hanging fruit sales, right? There's people that are willing to spend money. There are people that are willing to invest into themselves, right? And that's really what I want to emphasize to you on this training is that by doing some of the things that I'm sharing with you right now, getting on the phone, connecting with people who already have taken action, right? Speaking to your target audience, helping them solve a problem, right? Helping them solve a problem, right? This is big. You don't create $1,700 sales unless you're solving a problem. You could create a $50 sale from doing nothing, but just selling hype and bullshit. But the big ticket, where the real money is at, the back end sales, right? That comes from giving value and solving problems. So, with that being said, bro, I just want to bring it back over to you, and you can share your thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, so I actually was kind of going through a similar situation with you too. Like at first when I saw Instagram, I was like, nah, there's no way maybe I can make a couple $25 here and there, but there's no way that I could attract, $100 or $500 because it's free, right? And I almost for a moment I deceived myself into believing that until I attracted a $500 day. And basically the guy, he he clicked on my link that was in my bio because the link was offering a solution to his problem. And from that link, he watched a sales video, which further elaborated the solution to the problem. And one thing that I really learned, like when I really got deep into marketing, is that it's easy to sell people who are already sold. But like I said earlier, if you try to sell somebody who's not sold, it's like you're convincing them. And even though that might work, those people might not stick around, and it's just gonna be a headache and a hassle to deal with those people because it's like everything that comes out of your mouth, there's some type of resistance to what you're saying. But I got on the phone with this guy because he bought he bought for a low end ticket sale, which was $25, and from that moment that I saw him purchase $25, I was like, okay, cool. He's already sold on the idea of what I was selling. So it's not going to be that much more difficult to get him to buy something that's more expensive, especially if it's solving his problems and it's something that he needs. So I hopped on the phone with him, spoke to his core desires, because really at the end of the day, we're all in this. We're all in network marketing because we want to make money, and regardless of the product or the company or the service or whatever it is that you're deciding to promote, all of us want to know how to make more money. And so I just spoke to his core desires, realizing like that this was another human being, that he had problems, that he had situations going on in his life, and I took the time to understand what he was going through, what he needed to get out of that. And from that point on, I mean, it was like a 30-minute conversation. A couple weeks went by, and I want to stress this, that sometimes, especially like when you're calling prospects, you might have to be patient, okay? Because I know, especially with myself, when I first got in this industry, all I wanted to do was just make money. And I don't like to look at people as dollar signs because then it takes the whole human interaction aspect out of it, right? I'm not saying that you have to be all lovey-dovey and you got to be everybody's friends, because we're all in this business to make money, right? And you probably will make some friends later down in the road when people start to produce. But I think when I was talking to this guy, what really motivated him to spend money was the fact that I was giving him what he was looking for. And so, after a 30-minute conversation, it was like the seed was implanted into him that, okay, this is what I need. It's going to cost this much money. And from that point on, it's kind of like all you can really do is wait and just sow more seeds and wait for the harvest. And so a couple of weeks went by, and then I got a notification in my inbox, and he bought something for $500. And it was actually, that was the first time that I really got a $500 commission effortless without doing too much work. And at that moment, that was when I decided that I wanted to switch gears in what I was doing with my business, because I was really going against the grain, convincing people, trying to get people that to join my team, selling something to them that they didn't want at the time. And it was like when that moment happened and this guy invested $500 because he actually wanted what I was selling, and because he was already sold the from the very beginning without me even really having to say much. I decided that that's the direction that I wanted to go, and that I wanted to create more effortless autopilot sales, just by having, and when I say autopilot, I don't mean um, I don't mean like you really don't have to do too much work. You still have to plant the seeds. You still have to have those conversations with people, whether it's on the phone, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through email, right? But once you make that connection, it's very easy for somebody to go ahead and buy something without you even knowing. I've had people sneak up on my team, and I don't even know how they got on my team. They just somehow clicked on a link. They found a way to get to me, because it's all about creating that connection, positioning yourself as the solution to their problems, right? And then yeah, just having that conversation with them. And I mean that's pretty much the process that I went through and that I go through. And so when it comes to creating sales on autopilot, like, I would really say the heart of it is connecting with people and giving them what they want. So I don't know if you have anything more to add to that.
Yeah, what I would say is just that this industry is simple, right? And you're talking to someone who has completely overcomplicated, this industry for a very, very long time. And when I understood that, uh, I just simply said to myself, you know what? I'm going to simplify this as much as possible. And when you do that, it becomes easy, right? And I don't like to use the word easy a lot because I think it kind of disillusions people to think that they don't have to put in any work, right? But the work that I personally do every day is pretty damn easy. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not easy, but I typically use the word simple, right? And a key, right? Can you see my screen? Let me share my
No,
screen.
it's just a picture of you right now.
All right, cool. Let me go back to screen share. Here's for those of us that are in the home biz op network marketing niche, because I mean that's primarily the market that me and Brian typically focus on, right? So that's just going to be our case study example for the target market, right? What I realized is that what keeps people in the game long enough to have a breakthrough, and this is like some bonus stuff, like this is some ninja psychology, is progress, right? So, you get people in the door, right? You get people in the door. How do you keep them in the door? How do you keep them in long enough to, start making money, right? Well, you help them create progress. This could be in a mindset shift, right? Mind shift. Their belief level, right, could rise, right? When people start believing in themselves, they can do tremendous things, right? So a mind shift, a result, right? Help them get a result. If they weren't getting any visitors to their blog, for example, right, for them to go out and get 100 visitors to their blog, right, is a milestone, right? To generate their first lead, right? To have their first 10 lead day, right? I remember when I had my first 50 lead day, I was going bonkers, and it was on a day I didn't work at all. So what you want to do is you want to create systems and processes, or become a part of a system and process that can help people create progress quickly, quickly, right? That way, you can have people stay in the game long enough to go out and create the success that they want for themselves, right? But there's a learning curve, right? There's a learning curve, right, that people have to go through to get here, right? But you want to help them create this stuff right here, results, mind shift, get their leads, get traffic as soon as possible so that they stay in the game long enough to go through this arc to get here, right? Because then that's when you have someone who has a breakthrough, someone that has a story, right? Like the story that I shared with Ken. Because of Ken, I can help inspire people because now it's not just myself, right? And other people that I've given access to, like this particular training, they've gone out and they've started to get leads, get traffic, get leads, and started, getting sales while they were sleeping, right? While they're at work, right? And it's a funny thing because you see them start to celebrate their success, on social media and stuff, and you can use that in your marketing efforts. But it's just a great thing to see. You feel whole inside, right? Because at least I do when I start to see other people go out and create progress and results because I know I can create results anytime I want to. But it's fun when you can see someone going from where they were at to start to have progress to get to the place where they're making money, right? As fast as possible, right? I liken it to watching my kids grow up, like seeing my youngest son Josiah. At first he didn't do anything, right? And then he started crawling, right? And then he started running. Dude didn't even decide to walk. He just started running. Then he fell, right? And then he decided to walk, right? And now he's running, jumping, running, jumping, um, at times try to kick my ass with his brother, you name it, right? He's doing anything and everything. And that's essentially what you're helping people go through is you're helping people go through uh, that transformation. And when you do that, it creates results, it creates unbelievable stories. And it's how, if you want to know how to become a guru, go out and help other people achieve their dreams, right? If that's what you want to do, if you want to become a so-called guru, go out and help other people achieve their dreams. And you'll have everyone, talking to you until high noon, right? Every day. And with that being said, bro, I'll just bring it back over to you.
Yeah. Basically, I think the best way to create that snowball effect and to keep increasing your income and to keep everybody having getting results is to create that inner circle of people who are duplicating whatever it is that you're doing from whatever it is that you're teaching them, right? And I mean, of course, like when I first got in this industry, I didn't want to be a teacher or a guru or anything, but as you start making more money, people are going to be asking you like, what are you doing to make that money? And then you just go ahead and tell them what you're doing. It's just like me and James, right? Like I got him involved with Instagram. I mean, he asked me a little bit about what I was doing, so I showed him a little bit of what I was doing, and then now that he has success stories with it, I can use that story, I can leverage it to create more success because now I'm not the only one that's doing it. You know what I mean? And that creates more social proof. It creates more credibility, more believability, and what that actually ends up doing is making it easier for other people to join in to buy your products, right? And it's just like a giant snowball effect. And it really starts with just making a decision to take that first step, because if you don't take that first step, you'll never get to wherever your end destination is. And a lot of times, especially like when you're starting a new journey or something, it's like you can only see past a certain point. You can't. It's like sometimes you can't see what's way beyond your vision, your scope of vision of where you want to be at. And so what I mean is like when I got in this industry, I didn't know that I would be here, on a hangout talking to James, teaching people exactly what I'm doing on Instagram, right? And I know that by doing this, it's going to create more success. But I had to take the first step in order to make that happen. And pretty soon, events will start unfolding. People will start coming into your life, and everything will start to open up for you, kind of like the Red Sea with Moses, right? And it's like obstacles will move themselves out of their way for you because you set that intention that that's what you want to set out to accomplish. So basically, when it comes to Instagram, I like to just sum it up very simply. Um, you go after, you find the problem, right? You set yourself up as the solution. Um, Speak to people's core desires with whatever it is that they're looking for, and then when you have a customer or you have a prospect, or what did you say? You said a client, right? You said there's a difference between a client and a customer. So
Yeah.
yeah, when you have your clients or customers or prospects, whatever it is that you decide to sell, um, if they're already sold on something, then you go ahead and upsell them, right? And if you have a problem with upselling them, I'm going to just speak to you a little bit about that right now because, when I first got in this industry, I kind of had like um, I had a problem with accepting money for some reason. It was like I felt like I didn't deserve it. And I think sometimes that happens when you go through a struggle for so long. I was actually talking to James about this yesterday. Um, Sometimes you go through a struggle for so long that when you actually start to see success and it's easier than what you thought it would be, it's like kind of a shock to you. Like, I mean, the first time that I had a $500 commission on Instagram, it was like, I was like, whoa, like it can't be this easy, right? It can't be just me setting myself up as a solution and then, selling a product that people are looking for because I failed for so long. That was going against my belief system. So when I got over that hurdle um, and that obstacle was moved out the way, then I got to that next level in my business. And you can leverage stories like that in the past to create even more success. So basically, you create upsells by finding people who already bought from you. And I like to use the example of like McDonald's, right? You go into the drive-through, you buy something for a dollar or something, and then what happens? You see the menu, and they're offering more items to you, and maybe you buy a Big Mac, maybe you buy some fries with it, maybe they might even offer you a suggestion of buying a Coke or something like that. You end up
Anything
spending like,
else?
huh?
I
Wait,
said
what?
anything else? That's all they say.
Yeah,
Anything else?
yeah. You end up going with the intention of spending like a dollar, and then you drive out spending $10, right? And the people on the other side, they're happily collecting their money. You're happily filling your stomach. It's a win-win situation. And so that's basically like the science behind creating upsells is like people are going to come in buying something for a low front end cost, and you just make sure that you offer them everything that they want and more, and they're going to find value in what it is that you're giving them. There's going to be a certain percentage of people who will only take the low end offer, and they're not going to upgrade, and they're not going to buy the more expensive products. And that's cool because those people aren't that serious anyways. And then you're going to have some people who just go all in, buy everything that you're selling, and these are like your hardcore fans that are going to listen to everything that you say, and they're going to go out and duplicate your results. They're going to be able to become your star players, and then you can use those stories and leverage that to create more success, just like how James earlier in this presentation was talking about. Wait, what was that guy's name? You said it.
Ken.
Wait,
Ken.
Ken?
Ken,
Yeah,
19 years old.
like yeah, just like how James, right? He has this star player Ken who went out and created results, and then it's like somebody else comes along, right? And the more success stories you create, now you have an inner circle, and you can leverage that. So it all boils down to taking that first step of solving problems, creating upsells, and then just repeat, rinse and repeat. So I mean, I just that's basically I just want to simplify the process, paint out a picture for you. Like that's really all we're doing.
Yeah, and Brian couldn't have summed it up more than that. Look, guys, you have a decision to make after going through everything that we have just shared with you, right? It's, am I going to continue to do what I was doing before, which is, posting pictures of cash, guns, weed, and codeine, right? or or are you going to really, speak to the core desires of your target market and just make a decision to do that every day, to really go out and get the results that you want for yourself. Now, if you don't have a system that can do that, if you don't have an ability to do that in a way that's automated, that's seamless, then you need to get back with me or Brian or whoever referred you to this video and make a decision to join. Make a decision to plug in, make a decision to take action, make a decision to do whatever it takes to win so that you could go out and get the results that you seek for yourself. So just make that decision. If there's a button below this video right now, make that decision to click that button and get started and take action. And, we personally look forward to, working with you and showing you more about what we know about Instagram, with even more ninja strategies that we just simply don't have enough time to go over on this hangout. And, Brian, I'll just pass it over to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't really have too much more to say other than, yeah, just plug in. If there's a link around this video, just join, and we'll go further into more training, and we'll show you exactly what it is that we're doing in our business.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, Brian said it. I said it. We just gave you guys, uh, man, you guys just don't know what this has done for our businesses. So use this strategy to the utmost and plug in. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a coach right now, if you feel that you need some more help in your business, just take action. Pull out your credit card and buy it, get started, and we personally look forward to coaching you and mentoring you so that you could go out and start creating your own success story, your own progress, and you could go out and start helping other people do exactly what we've been able to do. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. Peace out.